Now I'm going to talk about Whoopi Goldberg right now. And Whoopi, I know you're not listening. I know, but I'm just going to tell you.
Maybe she is. You
Maybe
don't
she's,
know.
but I hope that this message gets to you. Shut the bleep up about the Holocaust. Okay. Just don't talk about it anymore. You don't talk about, Nazis. Don't talk about Jewish people. Don't talk about it anymore because every time you do, you put yourself in trouble. Okay. So she's now facing another round of backlash about what she claims are Jewish people, the whole race, everything. Okay, so the latest comments were in an article, and I'm sorry, I can't find the article right now. Okay, so this is what she said. Oh, it was the Sunday Times. This is what it is. So the latest comments came in an interview with the Sunday Times after a reporter said that Nazis saw Jews as a race, referencing Whoopi Goldberg's earlier comments in which she claimed the Holocaust was not about race. So she says, yes, but that's the killer, isn't it? The oppressor is telling you what you are. Why are you believing them? They're Nazis. Why believe what they're saying? She went on to say it wasn't originally about race. Remember who they were killing first. They were not killing racial, they were killing physical. They were killing people they considered to be mentally defective. And then they made this decision. Then, when the reporter told Whoopi Goldberg that, quote, the Nazis measured the heads and noses of Jews to prove they were a distinct race, Goldberg says they did that to Black people too. But it doesn't change the fact that you could not tell a Jew on a street, you could find me, you could not find them. That was the point I was making, but you would have thought I'd taken a big old stinky dump on the table, butt naked. That's what she's quoted as saying. Um, Again, I don't know what it is about Whoopi Goldberg's desire, and I'm going to call it a desire to respond or continue to explain what she means. She should just stop talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't, and I'm not going to try to explain what she meant. I'm not going to do any of those things. Why I'm bringing this up is there are certain beliefs, there are certain angles, there are certain stances that people have that other people just don't understand. Okay. No matter how many times you try to explain what you mean, and this could be about anything, right? But in Whoopi Goldberg's case, it's the Jewish people in the Holocaust. Okay. She has a certain belief system about it that either she's not explaining well or she's just flat out wrong about. And it's it's just one of those things where if she doesn't want to face this backlash anymore, shut the hell up. I would, if the reporter was asking me about it, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. That's what I would say. We're over it. I'm not talking about it. I have my beliefs. You have your beliefs. I see it one way. You see it another way. I'm not talking about it. I've already apologized for it. I've apologized to the whole entire world about it. I'm not talking about this anymore. And that's it, period. End of story. If I was her agent, I would teach her how to say that today. Ranting teacher writes, even though I've experienced racism, I've never had the experience of people being able to distinguish that from just looking at me. The experience has to be different. Then say that, right? If Whoopi Goldberg could say that, just be like, the horrors that people of all races and ethnicities and religion have experienced can be similar, but they are not the same.
Yeah.
There we go. They can,
Because yeah.
yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
for the same reason that will never experience what Whoopi Goldberg has gone through in her life, she will not ever know what it was like to be it is like to be Jewish, or what it was like to be Jewish in the 40s in Germany, whatever.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have that knowledge. So you
Shut
don't know.
up. Just shut up.
I'm
Um,
sure that, there was racism against Black people in Germany at that time too. I just feel like why do we have to compare one against the other? Why
Right.
does one have to be worse? That one situation always has to be more worse, worse than the other.
It's not a
Eh,
competition of
no.
horrors, you know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
It's not, and it shouldn't be. I mean, a crime against one, a crime against all. I mean, we can call out the crime without trying to be like, but this, but that. But that's not my point that I'm making with this story. My point is to Whoopi Goldberg. Now,
Yeah.
on one hand, you're being interviewed. Like, it's not like, oh, I was at dinner with friends and somebody overheard me having a private conversation. You're being interviewed. Stop. I just be like, you know what? I don't even want to talk about it. Every time I do, yeah, I mean, she can even kind of defend herself, just be like, every time I do, I don't think people fully understand what I mean. And so I've already addressed it. I've already apologized for whatever. And so I don't even want to talk about it anymore. That was then. This is now. Let's talk about something else. Sometimes I think I should work in PR, Kim. I mean, just my biggest advice to people would be like, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Don't say anything at all. And that's probably what most PR people say. And then nobody listens to them. They get
Well,
paid
and then
for advice and then don't listen.
there's conversely the thought that, you know, any news is good news, right?
No,
The
not in this
more
case.
your name, the more Whoopi's name is out there, the more people know her, the more famous she is. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what kind of image you want to have.
Now it'll be interesting. I don't think she's gonna be canceled for this, although who the hell knows? I mean, it could get lost in the holiday season. Maybe she hopes it will be, because remember when this happened back in January, they pulled her from the show for a little bit, and
Hmm.
then their ratings plummeted because a
Yeah.
lot of people watch The View for Whoopi. Now I don't watch The View, so I really don't have opinion on this, but um if I was The View producers or whatever, I'd be like, all right. I mean, let other people deal with it, but we're not pulling Whoopi Goldberg from this. I wouldn't even, again, I would tell them, don't even make it a topic on The View again. You've already done that. Like, just let it go. And Whoopi Goldberg, it does not get to have the world's opinion about the Holocaust, about Jewish people, about
Mm.
race, any of it. She is
You're not
one
an expert.
person, right? One person with one opinion. You don't agree with it, and that's it. So,
When she first spoke about the Holocaust, she said the genocide was not racial, but rather a form of white on white crime.
right, because she was bringing her own experience as a Black woman, I think, into it, right? That they, like what she was saying in this recent article, they could see that I'm Black, but they can't see necessarily who is who and who is not Jewish. Now, on some people would disagree with that.
Mm.
But it did seem
Oh,
like she was making
Whoopi.
a comparison between being Black and being Jewish. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. So, yeah. You
Nick
know,
agrees.
exactly. If I was her agent, I'd be like, damn it, woman, stop talking. Okay, well, I have time for this one more story. Speaking of people that should just stop talking, there is this. I gotta play you this. Do I get to share the screen? Okay, I'll play you a little bit of sound. I'm not gonna play it because last time I got a copyright hit. This is a funny story. It's something light. Okay, so it is a tough. It's a hard working time for food servers during the holidays.
Hmm.
One, some of you are working, the whole time. I used to be a server during the holidays, especially New Year's, Christmas. People have big parties, all sorts of things. So this server has posted something on TikTok, and I am hoping that his friends pull him aside and been like, "What the hell did you post this for?" But alas, he's done it. So he tells this story. His name is Dean Redmond. That he was working at this restaurant on Christmas Eve, and a table of 22 people came in. And as he's putting in the order, he forgets to put in 4 sandwiches. And he was really nervous about this. Quick story, when I was a server, there are things you have to say because you've messed up. It's your fault, but you realize if I tell the person, they're going to be mad. So this one story that always sticks out to me was this couple was in and they had ordered like a half chicken. Okay. It's like a leg and it's like actually like a quarter chicken. Really good meal. Chicken takes a while. Okay. I mean, to finish. And
Sure.
so it's probably going to be another 15 minutes. And I forgot to put it in. And so I go to the table and I was like, I went to get your food and I looked at it and it was just way overdone. It was burnt. I'm sorry. I told the cooks they have to remake it. And they're like, oh my God, thank you. And I was like, I just can't serve that to you. So I put in a new one. I was going to get it to you as quickly as possible. They loved it. I was a liar. I lied. I
Oh my
totally,
God. So
totally
what would have been
lied.
I mean, I guess that's better blaming it on the, the kitchen staff because that they can't see or take it out on right now. But what would have been the problem with just saying, "I am so sorry. There's so
Well,
much going on. I forgot to put your order in. I horribly apologize. Let me bring you this other item on the house while I get this up as quickly as possible."
Well, the on the house thing was never gonna work, and 2,
Okay.
I had half it was a couple, and I had one person's meal. So I
Oh,
brought that meal, and
yeah.
so obviously no one wants to eat alone, but I didn't want
Right.
2 meals to so I had to bring something. So there
Right.
had to be a reason, and a reason that wouldn't impact my tip, and I will add, for all of you judging me, the tip of the cooks. So the because I split it, I give them a percentage of the tip. So
Sure.
they don't give 2 licks that I'm lying because 'cause they're
So
not gonna see these people,
your
right?
lies were on behalf of the entire team. Is that right? Okay.
I'm nothing but honest on this show, okay? So, I told a lie. They were very fine with it. I brought them their chicken. It was delicious. It was great. It was fun. No harm, no foul. Okay. This is harm and foul because this guy, now this was years ago. The restaurant I worked at it's not even there anymore. So
Yeah.
there could be no consequence for me. I imagine for this server that forgot 4 sandwiches, and they're sandwiches. I mean, how long could it have made? I don't know what
Right.
kind of sandwiches they were, but listen to what he says. He told, he told them that basically there was a reason, a tragic reason why the sandwiches were late. Now, I forgot to set up this point. Because the party was so big, I guess they had to go down these stairs that were icy. So maybe there was an outdoor to an indoor area. And some of the members of the party almost slipped on the stairs.
Oh,
Okay. So this server goes up to the table at 22 and says, "I'm so sorry. As this woman was bringing down those sandwiches, she slipped and she fell and hit her head on the stairs and had to be taken to the hospital."
too
So
big of a
she
lie.
okay, so he tells him that. And so then this is him finishing the story because obviously sandwiches didn't take that long. And then listen to this.
Meanwhile, it was literally only 4 things that had to be made. They're like, any updates on her? I'm like, she's currently in the ICU. They're like, the ICU? I didn't know what that meant. I just thought that was a hospital term. Turns out it's critical care unit. So then I had to keep up that she literally had like a brain bleed. They came back later on with
Oh
this
my
note.
God.
Dear staff, please do not stress. Things happen. We hope she is okay. Girlie, she's fine. I'm not gonna be fine after the karma catches up to me. And I didn't give anyone else at the place any of this tip because I
The tip was $500. So
thought
keep
that they
listening.
would expose me and tell the boss, so I'm keeping $500 in cash. That's probably supposed to go to this girl who's in the ICU. Thank you, Paul and Sue.
So, because the table was so horrified that this poor made up girl, I mean, she existed, but she didn't, slipped, fell, got a brain bleed, a fake story. They probably rallied their money. They were probably like, hey, anyone want to throw in some more money?
Oh
$500
man.
tip. And then he doesn't even share it. See, I shared my tip. I shared my lie. Like, I still got tipped. I still got a decent tip. The
So
cooks got it. I got it.
if he
Everything.
does put the $500 in the bowl, in the shared bowl,
Right.
then everyone knows he lied and made up this horrible story and he could get in trouble with management, right?
Right. That's what he's thinking, that they're going to knock him out. But I'm saying,
So what do
I
you
don't think that would
do?
happen. No, I don't think that would have happened. I don't think that would have happened at all. You don't tell them while the party is still there. Okay. You tell them when you have to clock out and you have to give your money. Right.
I don't
And then you're
know.
like, okay, everybody, it's kind of a Christmas miracle. Or you don't, but you still share the friggin' cash. It's like, oh my God,
We got a
this,
big tip
this,
today.
this was a generous
I
tip. I
don't
bet you
know.
they felt guilty for coming in
Mm.
without a reservation for a party of 22.
I am
What would
never
you have
going to
done?
believe anything the wait staff tells me ever again. I'm like, is that a Nikki lie or is that true?
Dude, just yeah. I mean,
Where did
they're
this
eating the
happen?
french
Let's go
fries
look
off
at
your
the blood on
plate.
the stairs.
No, I'm telling you. I am telling you. Um, you know, I'm just being honest. And it wasn't that bad of a lie. It's not like I said somebody had a brain bleed and went to the ICU. I just said, hey, the chicken was a little overdone. It looked a little burnt. It wasn't good. The quality wasn't there, people. I wanted to help you out. So, but yeah, that server, I can only imagine, is going to lose his job.
I think
Shut
so.
the hell
It's
up.
another STFU, pal, and you're
Why
still
are you?
working and the place is still open. And
Thank
the people
you.
could see that and recognize what you told them.
I would have gone back to the restaurant. I would have hands down go back to the restaurant and
I
be
want
like,
my $500
I want my
back.
$500 back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. It is. It is. It is.